Hey everybody, I'm Jimmy and I have a blog called Dysfunctional Literacy, and I usually write about books and writing, but a lot of times I write about other stuff too. Anyway, in a couple of videos I've talked about how I've sold most of my comic book collection, but I have kept a bunch of coverless comic books. And I like coverless comics because I can read them without feeling guilty. Sometimes with Bronze Age or Silver Age comic books, if you read them, you feel like you have to treat them really delicately because one slight mistake, you'd make a slight tear, and then the value suddenly just drops. It's ruined. At least with the coverless comic, it's already ruined. Anyways, I was going through my stuff, and this one reminds me a little bit of that scene in Avengers Endgame with all the female MCU characters towards the end of the movie. And in that scene, the audience either gasped or guffawed or rolled their eyes or cheered, depending on what theater that you're in. So before there was Endgame or female Captain Marvel, or I guess there's a female Thor movie coming out, or before the future was female, the Liberators. And I think we got the Liberators from the Scarlet Witch right here. Okay, this is page 2. This is pages 2 and 3 from Avengers number 83, and this came out in 1970. I'll go back to that first page in a moment and show you the proof. But anyways, here we have Valkyrie and Medusa. Get the corner of the Black Widow a little bit. If you see the page waving a little bit, I've got the ceiling fan on. There's a little bit of a current. And there's the Wasp in the middle, and then the Scarlet Witch. And then we go down here to the credits. Stan Lee wasn't really writing comics by 1970. Roy Thomas was doing a lot of the writing. And then the artist was John Buscema. He did a lot of the work back in the early 1970s. He did a lot of Conans. But he did a lot of comic books. Did a lot of Avengers, Conans. He was kind of the go-to guy. He was pretty good, but sometimes his art looked rushed because you could tell he was drawing a lot of comic books in a single month. Now, since this is the 1970s, this is pretty good art. It's not like the female characters. It's not like 1990s where they're overly sexualized, but they're not Jack Kirby ugly either. And I say that because Jack Kirby he's my favorite artist. I mean, he drew great fight scenes and great layouts, but as much as I liked his art, his women did kind of look like men. But anyways, I probably don't have to talk about that right now. Anyway, let's go back to that first page just to show you a little bit. Okay, so it's Mighty Avengers and 1970, and I was five when this comic came out. So it was not my original copy, I know that. Anyway, look at this. A lot of word balloons in these comics. They actually would take a little bit of time to read. Won't go through the story. More stuff here. Actually, I didn't mean to focus too long. I'm not trying to okay, here we go. Yeah, look at these ads from 1970. It's actually a pretty good deal. $1.50, get 104 Marvel art masterpieces. Man, I wish we'd still do that. You know someone's tried to send that in. Yeah, second chance for high school dropouts. And then, hey, $75,000 extra income in a lifetime. Alright, it's not exactly first tier Avengers lineup. I think that blonde guy on the left, I think that was supposed to be Roy Thomas, like the comic book version. And you got the Vision, you see the Black Panther, Goliath, I think that was actually Hawkeye, and then Quicksilver. This is kind of like what the Avengers will be now in the next stage of MCU movies. And then you got the bad guys right here. Claw at the front, Melter, is that Titanium Man, Radioactive Man, I forget. Seriously, you're just gonna attack the Avengers in a parade, all those innocent bystanders. A lot of ads. Kind of a short fight. I mean, how many bystanders got taken out in that? Property damage. You know bystanders are... And then, let's see what happens. Okay, Vision gets taken out. Black Panther, come on Black Panther, how do you fall for that? And then Whirlwind, Quicksilver. Of course, the villain superhero matching powers. Ugh. 1970s comics. God, it's always do it split. Okay, so we got the Liberators. Vision. How can Vision not get out of that? Like, it's not the best panel. I'm not sure who the Wasp is taken out. I think it's the Melter, but I see some bystander just get hit in the eye. And then Never Gloat, Claw, come on. So you got the, here we go. Here we got Whirlwind and Quicksilver doing like a bouncy boy contest. And I'm not sure how that would work with Medusa. She's gotta have some strong legs. If you got the Whirlwind skyrocketing like that and she just yanks him with her hair, she's gotta have her feet firmly planted for that. And then wham, ooh, that's got a broken neck. And then, oh, okay, speaking, ouch, that's gotta hurt too. And then right when the Quicksilver, hey, thank you, and then Sucker Punch, or Cheap Shot. I guess that's not the Sucker Punch, that's the Cheap Shot. Here's, and something, okay, here's my favorite panel. Up against the wall, male chauvinist pigs. All right, now Valkyrie, she can be aggressive sometimes, but it seems a little bit out of character. And then right there, she looks downright diabolical. But then we find out, hey, wait a minute. She's the Enchantress. You know, even though I was 5, I thought the Enchantress was hot. And then, oh, more ads. And then exposition, a lot of exposition in this issue. I think the Scarlet Witch out-hexes her. And you would think, where is it? And then, of course, the grateful Goliath, you birds finally learned your lesson about that women's lib bull. Good going. Maybe that's not the time to have this discussion. And I think we're having the same argument today, just with different terminology. Say things don't change. You think today's bad, go back to the 70s and see what was going on, man. Things were crazy back then. All right, anyways, I just thought that'd be interesting to see. A lot of people don't get the chance to see a Bronze Age comic book very often. And it's your first female Avengers. All right, so if you made it this far, thanks for watching. And you might like my blog, Dysfunctional Literacy, even though I don't talk about comic books a whole lot on that blog. And you might like my book, Crap Is Not a Bad Word, which you can find on Amazon. All right. Thanks for watching, and check out my other videos too. All right.